Hi everyone, in this video, Ziggy and I are going to go over how to teach the cue, take it and give. So let's get right into it. In this particular video, Ziggy and I are going to demo with an Apple TV remote, but you can do this with any object that you would eventually like your pup to fetch. All right, so let's get right into it. Step one is to show the object to your dog, and we're gonna use shaping. So in the beginning, even if your pup just looks at the object, that is something you're going to click and reward for. So he nose bumped slightly towards the remote, so I'm gonna reward him for that. You're gonna keep practicing. So Ziggy catches on really fast. And with shaping, we're gonna slowly work towards having him actually grab the object. Oh, good boy. And I might even start pushing the remote into his mouth a little bit more. And if they are hesitant to bite the object, it might take a little bit longer. Oh, good boy. And you might even want to add some like cheese whiz or something like good, just a little dab of it to get them to do that biting motion if they are a little bit hesitant. But just be patient. This might actually take you like a whole week the first time. But Ziggy has done a lot of shaping, so he kind of knows like what to expect with shaping. Like he has to use his brain and he has to kind of figure out what he's supposed to do. So shaping is a really fine balance of keeping your pup really motivated, but also continuing to up what we expect of them. So the issue is if we stop rewarding nose taps and only reward biting or touching of the remote with the teeth, then they might eventually get frustrated. So if I notice my pup starting to get frustrated, then I'll start to reward the earlier motion, which is the nose bop. But if I notice my pup starting to kind of use his teeth a little bit more, I am going to reward that a lot. Yay, good boy. That's a good boy. And like I said, I'm gonna start putting the remote like towards his face. Oh, good boy. So he starts to grab the object. So once he's starting to grab the object like pretty regularly, I'm gonna start to add in the cue, take it. Take it. Good boy. The next step is to slowly start to kind of let go of the remote. So I'm gonna slowly start to kind of let go, good boy, so that he gets used to kind of holding it in his mouth. Good boy, that was so good. Now after that, we're gonna try to get our pup to completely hold it in their mouth so that we can actually let go of the object. Take it. Good boy. And only do a length that your pup can handle. So you don't wanna make them do it for too long. Take it. Good boy. Take it. The next step is to practice the give. Now for give, I want him to actually drop the remote in my hand because I don't want him just to kind of drop it willy-nilly on the floor because then we're gonna ruin the remote. If you have a pup that struggles with dropping an item, you can put your hand underneath them and then put a treat near their mouth. So you would say, drop it, put the treat near their mouth and let them drop it. I'm not gonna do that with Ziggy because he already doesn't like holding this. So if he even sees me get out a treat, he's gonna immediately drop it. Take it. Give. Good boy. And so if I was using a treat, take it. I would put the treat next to his nose, give. Good boy. So let's say you are practicing with a lab. A lot of labs really like to play with these items. A lot of the service dogs will think that these are toys at first and they'll start to like run around with them and throw them around. But if your dog is more like Ziggy, where they don't really like to hold on to these items, then you could just say drop in an excited voice so that they will drop the item. Take it. And so I'm not rewarding for that anymore. In the beginning I did, but now I want him to do a full bite because he's been doing those now. And if he just takes the edge of it, he's gonna drop the remote, which I don't want him to do. Take it. Good, stay. Give, good boy. Take it. Give. So that's where I had to use a little bit more of an excited voice to tell him that it was time to drop the item. Take it. Give. Good boy. Good boy. The next step is to teach your pup how to grab the remote off of the ground. So it might be hard at first with such a flat object. So I'm gonna lean it up against something so that it's easy for him to grab. So I'm gonna put it on here. Anytime our pup interacts with the remote now on the ground, I am going to click and reward that. We're kind of going back a step now because now the remote is on the ground, so it's gonna be a little bit harder. So now we're rewarding any interaction with the remote, whether they look at it, whether they just glance towards it. We're using shaping again. It's gonna probably be a little bit faster because now we've already shaped them to take the remote off of our hand, but it might take just as long since it is a completely new situation. Good boy. You need to help him out a little bit. You can kind of like point towards it. Good boy. Oh, and I'm leaning it on here so it's a little bit easier for him to grab than just on the ground, just to get him to practice. Good boy. Good boy. And anytime he actually grabs it, I'm rewarding that extra. Good boy. And we can start to add in the cue, take it again, since they know, take it. Give. Good boy. So Ziggy caught on to that pretty fast. It might take a lot longer. Like I said, every dog is different with every single cue. So just keep that in mind. All right, so that's how you teach, take, and give. Be sure to post your videos in the Facebook group.